Once there was a proud queen, Inanna, who had a son, Dumuzi, that she loved very much. There was a custom at that time for a man of royal blood to be chosen every spring to go underground to the land of death, so that the crops would grow and the people flourish. When spring came and the lots were drawn, Dumuzi was chosen to go. Inanna wept and tried to stop him, but he insisted, feeling he had no choice but to do his duty for the people. So the ceremony took place with music and ritual. Dumuzi was worshipped and then hung from a tree while he died and went to the underworld. Inanna, grieving, clothed herself in 7 veils and set off to find the way to that place, to plead with the queen Ereshkigal for Dumuzi's return. She was mysteriously drawn towards the entrance, which was guarded by a boatman with the head of a dog. Beyond ran an unearthly river, the colour of decay, mud and blood. She begged him to take her across the river, but the gatekeeper only gave way when she took off her first veil and gave it to him. And so she crossed and went on, encountering 6 more terrible boatmen and viscous, oily rivers, dark and terrible. Each time she crossed by giving each of the 6 boatmen one of her 6 veils. Finally, naked, she stood before a great iron gate, and suddenly a menacing shape rose up in front of her and growled,
"You are from the land of the living. You cannot pass into the land of the dead, or you must pay the price."
"I will do what has to be done," said Inanna. The gate swung open, and she could see a great cavern with a throne surrounded by a throng of moving, whispering spirits and shapes clothed in dark-coloured light. On it was seated Queen Ereshkigal, dressed in gold and scarlet, with flowing hair festooned with jewels, but with a thunderous, frowning face from seeing Inanna there. When Inanna looked at her face, she saw a great likeness to her own. Was this her sister, her twin? She dared not say, but said, "I have come for the soul and body of Dumuzi." Ereshkigal laughed and asked if she would pay the ultimate ransom, which would be the only way to regain him. And that ransom would be the last thing she could give, the flesh from her bones. Inanna bowed and allowed herself to be hung on a hook in the great cavern beside the throne, until the flesh withered and peeled off, and there was only her skeleton hanging there. The shades carried the pale Dumuzi in their arms to the throne and set him down before Ereshkigal, who said to him, "Do you know these bones?" Dumuzi recognized the shape of Inanna's fingers, and hot tears gushed out of his eyes, so profound was his grief for what Inanna had done for him and his love for her, that all the company around wept with him. Ereshkigal herself was swept by emotion, and she said to Inanna, "You have proved you can go through to the end and were not faint-hearted. You will have Dumuzi back for half the year. But each spring he must die and be reborn again." And so it was. Inanna's flesh went on her bones, and with Dumuzi she went back over the terrible rivers, and each boatman gave her back the veil that she had left there. It was as if, each in their own way, they were reborn, from having overcome fear of facing the monstrous boatman, the fires of experience, and the land of the dead. When winter comes, Dumuzi is gone, But he returns every spring, and his story is endlessly retold as the Fisher King.